New developments tonight in the Ebola outbreak. The Texas man diagnosed with the disease took a turn for the worse, now in critical condition. And the cameraman who contracted Ebola in West Africa is headed back to the U.S. for treatment. Today, there are also new calls for tighter precautions to keep the U.S. safe, especially at airports. TV 1055's Omar Villafranca begins our coverage with a setback for one Ebola survivor.
The CDC is once again monitoring Dr. Rick Sacra. He contracted Ebola last month while working in a maternity ward in Liberia. He was flown to the Nebraska Medical Center for treatment and released once he tested negative for the virus. This weekend, he went to the hospital in his native Massachusetts with a cough and fever. Doctors believe it's a respiratory infection, but he's being retested for Ebola as a precaution.
In accordance with CDC guidelines and protocols, we have sent blood work to CDC in Atlanta to rule out Ebola virus.
The CDC is also tracking about 50 people in the Dallas area who've had contact with Thomas Eric Duncan, the only person diagnosed with Ebola in the United States. Sunday, authorities here found a homeless man believed to have ridden in the same ambulance that transported Duncan and at low risk for the virus. Duncan fell ill shortly after he arrived from Liberia last month, and his condition worsened over the weekend.
I would not be surprised if one of the people who came into direct contact with Mr. Duncan when he was ill will get Ebola.
But Dr. Anthony Fauci says it's extraordinarily unlikely there will be an Ebola outbreak in the U.S. because scientists know how to stop the virus from spreading. So far, those who've had contact with Duncan have not shown any symptoms. An American diagnosed with Ebola in Liberia last week is on his way back to the States for treatment. Freelance cameraman Ashoka Mukpo is headed to the Nebraska Medical Center. In Dallas, Omar Villafranca, TV 1055.
We're learning more after the Ebola scare at Newark Liberty Airport yesterday. The passenger on a United Airlines flight from Brussels to Newark tested negative for Ebola. The CDC quarantined more than 250 passengers who had to stay on the tarmac while the sick man reportedly started showing symptoms of the deadly virus during the flight. He was removed from the jet, tested at the hospital, and later discharged.